So my notes. I mean, I got way more notes than that, but that's just what I could literally write down. Okay.
Pens are available.
Okay, cool. Does everybody have one? Okay. I'm just gonna get started, and then I'll introduce everyone as they come along. Yes. You went, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it, let's do it. Okay, I'm only gonna use the board because I'm gonna write down OHAs and stuff, okay? All right, so we've got, I think, 2 more people coming in.
Yep.
And so what I wanted to find out is, Daniel, was this your first, second, third? First.
First family reunion.
Okay, Robert?
Second.
Second, okay. So a brand new person going to family reunion, like, when you got there, what was your purpose? Like, for you, as an agent, what was your purpose? Like, attend so many classes, or what was your purpose?
So my purpose, being my role on the team, is to help the team grow and also help the agents grow.
Okay, so in saying that, help the team grow, help the agents grow, specifically, what does that mean when you go to family reunion?
Yeah, so my mindset going in was I want to meet with people who are doing what I'm doing, people who have helped teams go to the next level, scale, expand, and then go to classes that are going to help us grow systems, operations, and also kind of leadership.
Okay, great, perfect. Okay, so Robert, this was your second
My
family reunion.
second, yeah.
So what was your purpose?
My purpose was learn as much as possible to bring it back and implement things that I can at the level I'm at. I don't operate on a team, I'm an individual, so see what I can do for individuals, right?
So second time, and so you just wanted to learn?
Everything. If I could clone myself,
Learn
I would have
everything.
cloned myself and gone to all the classes.
Okay, so it was your second time and you just wanted to learn everything and anything?
Again, right.
So there's
yeah.
nothing specific you went there
I
for?
wanted to see the app. I wanted,
Okay.
yeah, that was big. That was huge.
Okay.
I wanted to see the command email, how
Okay.
that was operating, and
Okay.
I wanted to learn more about opportunities.
Okay,
So those 3 for sure.
okay. Randy, how many times have you been to family reunion?
You still counting?
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I would say the first one I ever went to was when Keller Williams first opened here in
15 years?
2004. Yeah, 2004 was the first one I went to in Orlando.
Yeah.
And then it was much, much smaller.
Right,
But I would say at least 5 to 7 times.
okay, so let's call it 7.
Yeah.
So what was your purpose in going to family reunion? Share with the group, what do you do we all know what you do, but like.
After hours or during hours?
Exactly.
Party.
Yeah. So what is your purpose at family
My
reunion?
purpose of any conference, which I usually go to, is just to build the connections. To
Ah,
find the networking, network with people that I've already established relationships with, and to create new relationships with. Because this company that's what it's like one big 108,000 ohana.
yeah,
And if you treat it that way and you go purposefully with going to the right things, the right events, you will find who you need to meet.
okay.
Yeah, so it's about the relationship.
So it's about the
building.
relationships, okay, great.
Yeah.
So, I think somebody else was gonna be here, but that's okay. So when I go to family reunion, this is my 13th family reunion. And I've been at different levels of the company. So team leader, now regional director, OP. I'm actually always wanting whatever information I can get and bring it back to my agents. So I don't just go to leadership stuff. I actually get to, with my RD tag, I can walk into any room Gary's speaking. So I was in the Gary Keller Top Mastermind for teams and for individuals. So the one thing I want to share with you which was really cool and eye-opening, was what are we all known for at this company? Keller Williams. When you think of Keller Williams, there's several things that everyone thinks of. So just shout it, whatever.
Culture.
What?
Culture.
Culture, what else?
System.
Systems, what else?
Training.
Okay, profit share, what else?
Technology.
Technology. There's one more.
#1 in the world.
Oh, I love that. We're known for teams. But here's what Gary said. So I walked into the top, I think it was top 200 or top 100 mastermind. They were individual agents, and they had to either make 500,000 GCI or do 20 million in sales. Okay, that was the qualification. and it was the top 100, and they handpicked whoever was invited. So I was curious, because I wanted to sit in the back of the room and just take notes. So several things I discovered. So the first thing is Gary started it with putting up a Kobe Bryant video, which I really would love to share that video with you. If we can turn this on. It's kind of on the fly, but I just really, it inspired me when I watched it. And of course, you know, when I do things last minute. I just go to YouTube. And I didn't even do this for them in Whalers, so you guys get a peek of, we got awesome. So YouTube, put Kobe Bryant, and I know exactly which video it is.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's cry.
It's not gonna make you cry at all, it's gonna actually make you really excited. This is how he opened, so he, you know,
I didn't get the T in there, but it's.
shoots, this doesn't look familiar, keep going. It's like inspirational. Oh, that, okay.
Motivation one?
Yeah, it's either that, can you click it on? Wait, okay, it's, not a tribute. It was 4 minutes, and it was, no, it was 4 minutes. Try put motivation, it was an interview. I found it easily when I needed to find it.
Motivation?
Yeah. There, that's it, but it's not 7 minutes. Oh, it is, it probably, you go okay with 7 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, just go with it, and let's open mine. Yeah, 7 minutes,
Is it his Mamba thing?
yeah.
Your passion first. When I retired from the game, yes, you're asking kind of all the wrong questions. What's the biggest industry I can get into? It's all the wrong stuff. Then you gotta sit there and ask yourself, okay, what am I truly passionate about? What do I enjoy doing? And when you feel that way, honestly, I mean, you feel like you've never worked a day in your life. It's the most fun thing in the world. You get up in the morning excited about what you're doing. And you gotta be really honest with yourself about it. If you wake up in the morning and you're dreading going to work, do something else. Do something else. And those are hard decisions to make, but when you make those decisions, it's a very liberating experience, and you find out that the rewards will come. I think the best way to prove your value is to work, is to learn, is to absorb, to be a sponge. You should always want to outwork your potential. As hard as you believe you can work harder than that. And that's what I tried to do when I first came to the league. But basketball is such a direct competition sport that me coming in at 17, I hated it. Like my teammates would say, I get hit with an elbow, right? Shaq would hit me with an elbow in practice. Like, the big man next will come up and say, "Are you okay?" I'm like, how are you okay? What's wrong with you? So like I always had that extra chip on my shoulder. So like every day in practice for me was really trying to annihilate everybody that I was playing against. Because I wanted to prove you don't need to babysit me. Like I'm fine, And so it's always that competitive nature, the work ethic, and curiosity. Because I asked them a lot of questions. Playing with Byron Scott, I asked him a lot of questions. Eddie Jones was great at chasing guards off the screens, and I didn't understand how to do that. I would sit with him before practice, after practice. Magic, all the Laker greats, start earlier. I can train more hours. And I know the other guys aren't doing it because I know what their training schedule is. And so I know if I do this consistently over time, the gap's just going to widen, and they won't be able to get that back. So to me, it was just common sense. I'm like thinking, how can I get an advantage? Oh, start earlier. Let's do that. How do you develop that? Or what do you Well, I think it's just a matter of what's important to you. It's important to you for whatever reason. You know, I felt like I didn't feel good about myself if I wasn't doing everything I could to be the best version of myself. If I felt like I left anything on the table, it would eat away at me. I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror. So the reason why I can retire now and be completely comfortable about it because I know that I've done everything I could to be the best basketball player I can be. It has been absolutely beautiful, you guys. I can't believe it's come to an end. You guys will always be in my heart. And what can I say? I'm loud.
So Gary played that, right? And then he said, I want to apologize to everyone in this room. And they were all, remember, I said top 100 individual agents. And he said, the reason why I want to apologize is because when I started this company, I worked with individuals just like yourself. And I helped them and I developed them. And before you knew it, they all either grew teams or started investing in real estate or bought market centers, and they're all doing amazing. And then one day I'm sitting in my mastermind group that I have every year, and I've had it for the last 30 years, and my individuals became teams. And then I forgot about the individual agent. So when he played this video, he said to everyone, how do you relate to the video? And so people would get up and they go, well, you know, I work harder than most teams, or I work harder than most people. I get up earlier, I call more people, I'm on the phones, or I'm connecting. And a lot of people would say things like, thank you for validating us as individual. And do you know 2/3 of that room were mainly women? And their biggest hardship, what do you think it was?
Yeah.
Balance. Because as women, they were super successful, but they were also required to do this or that, you know, families, wives. So the point is that when I went to it, I want to take notes on how does an individual agent like yourself streamline to get to that level and to produce at that level, right? So some of the notes I had was, so watching that video, what stood out to you, first of all? What stood out to you? Yes.
He wanted to work harder than his competition.
He wanted to outwork his competition, right? One of the 2 words in there I love is outwork your potential. You know, what is your full potential? That was his thing, right? What else did he say in there that might have resonated with you?
Consistency.
Consistency. You know, he could look at himself and retire because he was consistent. You know, he asked a lot of questions, remember? He was very curious. So if you know someone doing it better than you and you see somebody doing it at a high level business, go ask them, take them out for coffee, ask them what they're doing, right? And then what else did he say to himself? What were some of the things that he said to himself that got him going every single day?
Maximizing his time, getting up earlier and making the most of, he could, even 5 years more, I mean, he just blasting.
So that's what our technology is. We're 5 years ahead of everybody else. So one of the things Gary's saying to everybody is, look, you've got technology, you've got relationships. Now all you have to do is lead gen and connect with those relationships. So this is what it looks like in terms of your business when we talk about how your business should look. So he was saying, deal. Okay, right here is about the time that it takes from here to here to get a commitment for somebody to want to buy or sell through you, right? So that's NAR says that's a 7 to 12 week time frame, okay? So here's 1, 2, and 3. So lead gen, this is your database, so all the areas in you lead genning, right? And then he's saying this is the humanity part. This is the connection part where Zillow and Redfin, none of them can touch us, is that if we are tech enabled and we use technology to help us leverage, then we can connect faster to more people, right? So this right here is what? Follow-up. That's agents' biggest challenge, right? So he was telling these individual agents, you guys got to get on command. You have got to scale, because if you don't, you can't do any more than what you're doing. That's why, you hire a housekeeper to clean your house. You hire nannies to watch your kids. Why aren't you hiring a marketing admin? Why aren't you spending the money for an admin so you can have more time at home, right? So sorry. So here is where the connect happens. So this is your connect, right? This is the communication, right? This is your smart plans, okay? Here's your close, right? Here's the commitment. This is when they commit to you. And then, after closing is cultivate. So when you go to family reunion and you go to events like that, this is the same thing for agent-to-agent business. So look at your database, and Gary says, look at your business and how much is it of the business that you get is referrals from other agents. You can take advantage of a referral network that is so big. So 7 years you've been going. How many referrals on average do you get in a year?
Almost half or more from other
Half
agents.
or more from
From
other agents.
I mean, last year we had 3 referrals from one agent. She gave me 3 listings
Right.
from one agent.
And even if you don't go to these conferences, you can do it through your command, right? So Gary's saying to these individual agents, he's saying, you need to scale because you can't grow any farther than you're willing to grow. And that meant your business, right? So you went to several classes. What was some of the things you learned?
Well, the one thing that I learned was I went to that Jason Abrams class
Yes.
early in the morning.
Yeah.
He's kind of a masterful speaker, so
Yeah.
it was fun to listen to. But he was talking about how social presence is taking a big upswing. I mean, how much people are actually on their social media. I think I've got one here. Top 3 places buyers use to find homes is a website. We all know that. It's 93% agents. They use an agent 87% of the time, which is good. And then the app, they use an app 73% of the time.
73% they used an app, and most buyers and sellers look online 97% of the time first. Okay? They look on the app, they look at it online, they look at property, and then here's another tip that came from this course. What is the 5 most important pictures that you should put on any listing or property? The first 2 are the most looked at research, and that is your master bathroom and your kitchen. The other 3 is whatever is the hottest picture that you have that looks great. Because after 5 pictures, you lose them. This is the first 5.
But do you think like a place like Hawaii where views are so important that
Sure.
that might overrun a bathroom?
They just said, if you have a great view, yes,
Yeah.
post the great. It's the 5 hottest pictures that you have. So if you have a great view, yes, it should be kitchen, a redone bathroom, a view, and it could be a lanai off of the view, whatever it is, but that was the tip, is that the most looked at pictures are your first 5. So that was the tip. So Jason said online presence. Continue. Robert?
When buyers search for a home, a mobile device, they search, when buyers search for homes on a mobile device, 71% find their home on an app. 71.
71%.
We've got an app on their phone, brand new
Yeah.
to you.
And they said 96%, they said 96% of people will hire on a listing the first agent that gets to them first. So there was a guy there that said, he was in the East Coast, he was like in, I don't know, what area of the East Coast, not New York, it was like Jersey or something. He did 130 transactions last year, and he's 2 years in the business. And he said what he started to do, he was a teacher before, so he had a lot of community. He said what he does differently is the minute someone calls just to even ask them or talk to him about listing their property, he has a pre-listing package sent to them within 15 minutes of after hanging up. And if he can't get there, or an assistant can't get there, he sends it in an Uber.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So he puts the package, he calls the Uber, he says, deliver this, and just drop it off. And it's at the doorstep.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
And he says, and he nails all those listings because he's the first one to get there.
That's faster than Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. So then there were some really great ideas that were shared. So what else did you get?
Stats are higher than ever that the first will get the client.
Yep.
1 in 2 or 50% of buyers speak with only one agent before deciding who to work with. Yeah. People spend 38 minutes a day on average on Facebook and 26 minutes a day on Instagram. The rest kind of fall down a little bit. YouTube's up there, but it's Facebook and Instagram are the big ones. One thing I was really taken back with was how smart plans can scale now. They've turned that on, it's configurable now. And you could put 50 people on a smart plan, and in one night, you can put 700 on. And you could stagger the start date so you don't get inundated with any mishaps that may happen with that. So it was really,
And
there was
didn't-
more, but yeah. those were the
Wasn't
areas.
one of it, I thought it was Jason, didn't he also say that you have to make sure anything that you post now has relevance to the consumer? And it doesn't have to be all personal or all business, but it has to be in between, that people are actually following you or are interested in, if you're featuring Maui, for instance, and you live in Maui and you just feature different great restaurants, or you do videos, or you walk through a property, it's gotta be something where a consumer's actually interested. So I was just at Whalers where Don Harris was teaching, and he has created such a following on his Facebook. And he's been here, what, 5 years, 4 years, less than? Yeah, he's created such a following that a third of his business is all now people he's either met at Keller Williams or following him on some of the interest pieces that he brings on social media.
One of the things Jason said was, what is it you can do so well that when you stop, people get mad about it, or they call you and say,
Yes.
"Don't stop."
Yes, yeah, and that's providing them really great information, right?
There was a breakout that I went to about Command Your Online Lead Gen, and they had, there was some sort of mix-up in their marketing, and they're supposed to say homes, but someone typed gnomes, like garden gnomes.
Oh, yeah.
And so they ended up putting a garden gnome in their listing pictures, and then they started a competition to see who could find it in the listing pictures every
Oh,
week.
wow.
And they forgot it one week, and they said social media blew up. Everyone was like, "Where is it? Why is
Where's
it?"
the
not-"
no?
Yeah, so now it's part of their business.
Okay, so there you go. So what are accidental branding items? So and they said what, the next generation of agents are gonna be marketing on YouTube. That's gonna be like, so create yourself a YouTube channel, or you can get in line with somebody that can, or help you create. And what we're doing that we thought would be good is in Honolulu, and I think we might have to do it here, is we're creating a social media room. And we're gonna have a green screen, and we'll say buy your house or sell your home. And any of our agents can go in there and do like a little blurb or a conversation piece. But video is gonna be the future of how we do business, right? So anything else you heard in any of the?
So it's talking about video, they're talking about listings, and 70% of sellers these days choose to go with an agent who highlights video in their marketing.
So
There was a-
video in their marketing.
There was a product that they mentioned called Vlog Easy.
Yes, Vlog Easy.
It kind of takes all the dead space
Yes.
out, and makes everything nice, tight, and compact.
So Future RE event that I went to in Vegas last year, Vlog Easy was one of the vendors, and it's really simple to use. To go online and they'll do everything for you. You just send them the pictures or they'll send a video person out, and it's really easy. Like, you don't need to have your own private person, right?
Right.
So you should look into Vlog Easy, right? And it's an app and it's a .com, yeah. Okay, so Randy, what were some of the events that you went into that you had an aha from or a takeaway that you're actually implementing?
Well, one of the first events I went to before family reunion was a private workshop that Chris Suarez and Ben
Oh,
Kinney did.
Yeah,
So they're like two of the top producers of Keller Williams, #1 and 2.
expansion.
Yeah, they're huge. They brought in a speaker. His name is Patrick Galvin, and this was the book the author wrote, The Connector's Way.
Ooh,
I mean, these 7 steps right here, or the 7 ways to build a relationship, just resonated with me immediately.
Wow.
Because if you've been in the business a long time, you need to cultivate and culture that business for such a long time. And I think all of us experienced as agents have been doing this a long time. We lose business. And whose fault is that? It's your own fault for not connecting or keeping up. So I'm all about, at this point of my career, it's all about keeping the connections alive. And what do I need to do to make it even a more enhanced relationship? So the 7 rules for building business, one relationship at a time. When I just went through these 7 steps, they really wow, that's a major, and this can be executed right away. And I was telling my team that we should probably exercise one at a time, or
Yeah.
how can we implement this? Like #1, nurture body and mind to create positive energy and enthusiasm that attracts others. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
Gary Keller talks about the mindset before you begin your
yeah,
business day.
your energy
You
boarding.
got, building up that energy, that emotional, spiritual energy, you gotta have that every day. #2, seek out individuals who expose you to new ways of thinking. If you're not exposed to that bigger thinking, you will always stay where you're at. And that's why
Yeah.
we have the 6 myth understandings. #3, ask your connections how you can be of service to them. It's such an easy thing, but something we forget. It's always about, it's always turned around the other way. But if you really ask them and start listening to what they need, what they're saying, you will get it. #4, serve others without consideration for how you will benefit. And that's another thing that we always have to keep in mind, that if your true heart isn't to the passion of what you do, it always comes back to you. #5, exceed expectations. #6, let people know how they can help you succeed. I think that's another one that I failed to do, is like, when you ask your clients, how can we help you succeed? Or how they can help us succeed, We're always wanting to do things for them, but they want to do things for you. Your clients actually want to see you succeed, but if you don't ask them, you won't know.
Yeah, you don't ask for the referral.
Yeah. And then #7, be grateful. I mean, that's the.
I want to go back to serve others without consideration for how you will benefit. So would you all agree right now we're in a very volatile times?
Yeah.
Between the political, what's going on, the stock market, the coronavirus. So think of this market and the competitive landscape of Zillow and, trying to take the human relationship out of the transaction. So think about this, why are the top agents the top agents? Because they have 3 unique qualities that they practice every day. The first one is mindset, the second one is an attitude, and the third one is their approach to life. So when you're looking at the shift and what is happening, how can you serve others without the benefit? So what is happening right now that you could call a client, a consumer, a person in your database, and come from value with how crazy everything is going? I understand that in Maui there are a couple of things going into effect that might change the industry, right? The vacation rentals, the houses, the condos. I don't know if that's actually going to go through, but how many of your consumers or your people that are in your database even know that's going on? Whether it's going to go through or not, how do you provide information? So that's another thing about social media. What would it look like if you guys created a bomb video and said, hey everybody, I I know if you live in Maui, like me, you're always concerned about things that are coming up that they want to do away with. And one of the things that I want you to know about is this. I really don't think it's going to go into effect, but I think you should be in the know, right? So now you send that video out to everybody in your database. And or if you're in your command right now, how many of you are using the text, the Twilio? Wow. Okay, so I went in there because I'm just playing around with it. You've done it? So how do you leverage and touch enough people without having to send an email that they're going to think is junk? You text them. Because when people get text, they generally will look, okay, oh, Ava just sent me a text. Oh, what does she have to say, right? So part of the backdoor of command, on the very bottom when you set it up, it says, if you want to text, you have to subscribe to Twilio. So what I did was I subscribed, I paid, it wasn't that much,
$20 bucks.
$20, no big deal. And then what I did was I sent a mass message to a group of 25 people and I tagged them. So I went through my tags and I went, so-and-so, and then all the people came up. And I sent it out and I said, hey, it's Colette, I want to make you aware, expect an email from me about this. This is text from command, confirm you got this. And everybody was like, no way, and and it was like 50 people. So my point is, how do you have an approach to the market in a way that is not, oh my gosh, the sky is falling? Because just because the stock market went down, what happens when the stock market goes down? What else goes down?
Real estate buying goes up.
But why?
They're moving their money out of the
And
market.
interest rates are dropping. So I don't know about you all, but right now is the time you should be calling all your clients and going, hey, I don't know if you've heard or you're in the know, but rates have dropped. Treasury bills down 50%, and rates have dropped a point. Are you looking to refi? Oh, no, I'm not looking to sell it. No, it's okay. I just wanted to bring you value and benefit you. I know of a no-cost, zero-cost loan. And so now this is servicing others without benefit. So if you're new to the business or you haven't touched your database in a while, this is a great time to touch your database. So we always have to be connecting, right? We always have to be connecting, and this is one of the things. So what else did you get from this? So which one of these will you apply in your business?
The one I work on all the time is number one.
Right.
I always believe in keeping that positive energy, enthusiasm, physical, taking care of myself. Self-care is really
Right.
huge. I'd say number 3, again, is ask your connections how we can be service of them. Because sending good content and keeping them top of mind. BombBomb video is great. You can do BombBomb text videos, which is very powerful. I think that's one of the best investments I made for, instead of sending an email, if you just send them a quick little text video, it's amazing. They respond to those kind of things.
Yeah, and especially when you're in this market, when
Yeah.
these things come up, I mean, how many agents are thinking this in advance, right? So that the whole part of your business is that follow-up and that marketing. How do you stay ahead? How do you be like Kobe? How do you outwork everybody else? Because we all know how agents work. They kind of stroll in at around 10, and they work for about an hour, and they go grab coffee, or they have a conversation. Oh my God, it's 2 o'clock. Oh, I don't have an appointment. I don't understand why I'm not closing any transactions. We don't work like that here, right? We're up and about. We're starting to connect. We're starting to lead gen. And so that's what the point is about family reunion and the things we learn is it's not good enough just to go to family reunion. It's like, what are you actually going to implement and do? Right? So what are you going to implement and do? Okay, Dan, what are some of the things you're going to implement and do that you got?
Yeah, so I think there's a few things that stuck out to me.
Okay.
One was I went to a Kristen Cole breakout about expansion, and one thing that she really stressed was you got to control it, then you got to test it, retest it, document it, scale it, expand it, automate it.
And expansion is about expanding outside your territory. Okay, so maybe your territory is Kihei, but you're like, my systems are so down pat, and I've got such great follow-up that I need to be in another territory because I'm limited in what I can do in this territory, right? So again, you went for the team, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
what
And
else?
I think that's pretty applicable in a lot of different
Yeah.
things. even just different types of lead generation. You own one area, then you move on to another thing,
Yes.
instead of trying to do everything all at once. Another one that stuck out to me, I went to Command Your Lead Generation with Chris Suarez and Ben Kinney. So one thing they talked about was goals versus systems. He said most of us set goals, like we want to run a marathon, we want to travel, we want to do whatever. Once that's done, then the behavior stops. And so creating a system where you commit to a process. So let's say you want to run a marathon, okay, I'm going to run X amount every day, and that just continues.
Yes.
So in real estate, it's, you know, you're committing to lead generating, not for a specific number per se, but the process of.
I like what you say, because what you're saying is, okay, I have a goal, I'm gonna sell 24 units this year, I'm gonna do $24 million. But what you're saying is, all the top agents don't look at the goal as whether it's achievable, they're looking at the plan and the process to get into the plan, to achieve that goal. Because some of them hit way over and above that, and you don't stop lead genning just because you hit that goal, because now you have to worry about the next year. So what process are you gonna put in place, right, that's gonna be consistent over time? Like Kobe said, he wakes up, he goes in practice, comes back, takes a break, goes back, and goes in practice, comes back, take a break, shoots your shot. So what are your shots that you have to shoot every day, right? So are your actions resonating with the results that you're hoping to get, right? Okay, Randy?
One of the things they talked about in the Connectors Way was that what WZCD, what Zillow can't do. So you really have to think. You have to really think about your business. This is where they say working on the business is more important than working in the business. Because the more you spend, you have to block time to really work on your business and really analyze where you're at, where you need to go, where are the deficiencies. So they're saying, this is the time you really got to be very purposeful about all the relationships you have and how you're going to continue those relationships. So because I feel that in order to have a sustainable business, you got to have the best relationships. So some of the things that it brought up to my attention was like, what am I doing to create the wow experience for our clients? Because Zillow can't create a wow experience, you can't create a wow experience. So how do you define that? What is your definition of a wow experience? So I'm reanalyzing our systems so that they are wow experiences. Are we touching everybody? Like, let's say, just for example, if you're in escrow with a client, are you calling them every week? Are you telling them, the things you should be doing, but sometimes we get so busy that we don't follow up on that stuff? Just simple little things, and asking that one question, how are we doing, by the way? I think that's so important to ask your clients at any time when you're in the buying or selling process, how are we doing? We want to earn your referral business down the road. How are we doing today? Are we meeting your needs? What are we not doing for you? And again, it's asking those right questions to your clients and making sure you are servicing them properly. Because at the end of the day, that's why people work with you, the level of service and the details that you followed up on. Kind of like we talked about the Four Seasons service, or why you go to the Four Seasons, why do you go to the Ritz-Carlton?
Yeah.
Because they deliver a level of service that you remember. And I know at the Four Seasons, that one time I stayed there at Wailea, they were spritzing my sunglasses at the poolside. And they gave me otters at the poolside, those little popsicle otters.
Yep.
I'm like, damn, I'm coming back. But that's the thing that I remember. I don't remember some of the other stuff, but I remember those two things that cost them hardly nothing.
Yeah, I mean, most of the companies that do really well, and Brady Sandall did it at Dean Otto's luxury listing last month when we were here. He talks about how he went from an agent that did like 30 million to 100 million, right? And what took him to that when he was with the previous company to his current company is his 8 steps to surprise and delight. And what he did was he took the Ritz-Carlton's gold standard and he just copied that in his business, and I'm actually going to get it from him because he's willing to share it with people. And what he says is what you're saying is throughout the process of the transaction. So here's the process of the transaction. From the moment he meets them and lead generates and communicates and connects to close, there are 8 times that he surprises and delights them. To the point that at the end of closing, he used to spend X amount of money giving them a closing gift. Then he realized that the gold standard, the Ritz-Carlton, was throughout the deal, you give them something. And they're not expensive. They're small items that cost, but it's like the spraying of your glasses. How much did that cost? But it's the actual that, I'm lying there, my glasses are kind of foggy and someone's spritzing me. It makes you feel special, right? So what are the ways you're gonna disrupt your business not to be like the normal agent that's out there?
I heard themes
Yes.
I heard themes come up at family reunion a lot. It was a lot centered around follow-up.
Yeah.
Big teams do a really good job at nurturing and follow-up. So over and over and over, I heard nurturing and follow-up during that period of time where nothing's really happening, and if you get a lead back here, they don't like it because it's a crappy lead. No, it's just a lead you're not willing to work because you want the lead over here. But it was the nurturing and the follow-up. What systems do you have in place to do that? Command's offering that.
And that's what it is, because when Gary was speaking to the top 100 agents, a lot of them weren't systematized. And he's like, the reason why you can't do more than 20 to 50 deals is you don't have the capacity. Your business is only gonna grow as far as you grow. So that's where he said, you know, you can be a single agent. You could literally be a single agent and make more money than some of these teams. And he said, oh, of course. Yeah.
Turn it around.
Yeah.
Just flip the easel around.
Okay. I'm just thinking about, I told you guys I'm gonna keep drawing. There we go. So he said, really, he says a single agent that follows the 30-30-40 plan, that's off of your MREA, it's 30% cost of sale, 30% expense, and 40% net profit. Some of these single agents were making more net profit than the teams because the teams spend so much money, throwing money at hires and systems. So what Gary did in building Command made it easy for the individual agent to streamline their business all in one place. So he said you could literally be an agent, right? So this is agent, and you could be the CEO, right? And you need this person. This should be your first hire, okay? This person you already know you can hire per transaction, okay? So this team right here can probably do about 25 to 50 transactions. That's only 2 deals a month, okay? But if you want to scale and start doing 75, you're gonna need to have a marketing admin. So someone that literally, once you input your stuff in Command, will set up all your smart plans and they'll just run with running your Command. So he says this person can easily make $500 to $1 million.
So that's a database admin, right? The
Yeah.
first admin
Yeah.
is a database
Yeah.
management
Yeah,
admin.
this one, yeah.
And then marketing.
And then the marketing. So this is your overall admin right now, because you have a TC that does transactions. But you need to have somebody that maintains, no, I just want my old one. There we go. Maintains all of this in between. This is the regular admin that maintains all of this. So when you're doing 2 transactions, that's easy. 2 transactions a month, not a year. So when you're doing 2 transactions a month, this is easy to maintain with just you, an admin, and a TC. But when you want to double that, you're gonna need your admin to train the marketing admin. They'll take over, and then this admin is basically taking over operations, right? So that was the cool thing, and you know, a lot of these people were standing up going, yeah, I guess it's time for me to hire my admin. They were doing this just basically them and a TC, which is crazy. Why would you wanna, you know? So a couple of quotes here. I wrote that Gary said, an individual agent that has no help, you don't have a business, you have a self-employed business. Because if some